When people think of emergencies, they imagine chaos, flashing lights, sirens, everyone rushing outside. Sometimes the safest thing you can do is the exact opposite. Sometimes safety means staying put. Sheltering in place isn't something most people think about until they're told to do it. But understanding it and being prepared for it can make a huge difference in how we respond when things suddenly go wrong. To shelter in place means to stay inside a safe location during an emergency, not because you're trapped, but because what's outside poses a bigger threat. That could be a chemical release, an active shooter, or a severe weather event. According to Ready.gov, staying indoors in those situations can dramatically reduce your exposure to hazards, especially airborne ones like smoke or chemicals. It's about making the safest move available, even if that move is staying still. A shelter in place kit is basically your short term survival backup. It's meant to keep people safe, calm, and stable for a few hours if they can't leave. Typical items include water, non perishable foods, flashlights, batteries, first aid supplies, plastic sheeting and duct tape to seal doors and vents, and then masks or gloves. The FEMA Emergency Management Institute recommends 1 gallon of water per person, plus essentials for communication and light. Those supplies might seem small, but when the power's out or the air quality is bad, they become your lifeline. Now, every workplace is required to have these kits, but OSHA does require an emergency action plan, a written outline of how people will stay safe if evacuation isn't an option. Some places like hospitals and schools make kits standard. Others just take initiative. Either way, the reasoning's simple. Emergencies don't schedule themselves. You can't predict when they'll happen, but you can prepare for how you'll respond. Sometimes just knowing that a plan exists, knowing there's a flashlight, a radio, makes a stressful situation feel manageable. Most of us go through our days assuming things will go as planned, and most of the time they do. But when they don't, it's preparation that bridges the gap between chaos and control. Here's the surprising thing: only 5% of US households have a complete emergency kit, even though most expect major heat waves or blackouts this year. That says a lot about how it's easy to underestimate preparedness until you need it. Safety doesn't always look heroic. Sometimes it's quiet. It's a flashlight in a drawer, a sealed door, or a calm voice on the radio. So, next time you see a shelter in place kit at work, think of it as a small act of foresight. A promise that if the unexpected happens, you'll be ready.